Who's trying to kill the game? Indymon. Who is? Let's find out today. Let's find out who's trying to kill this game. Right? So, get into it.
Next big thing in games. I would confidently claim it's having its Helldivers 2 moment, where it releases as a big unknown, and suddenly becomes the thing that everyone can't seem to stop talking about. I've been playing it myself. I'm around level 15 so far. I had a guy shoot me recently and take my modded shotgun from my
Level 15? 50, bro, that ain't shit, dude. That ain't shit, huh?
corpse, and yes, I'm still salty about it. But
You had someone kill you? Bro, I don't know how this happens. I have that. Nobody has harmed me in the slightest. I don't know how
the
that
game
happens.
is fun. However, it seems like the usual types are trying to make Arc Raiders into something it was never meant to be.
Oh, you're talking about streamers. Yeah, streamers are trying to make it into like, they're trying to play it like it's fucking PUBG or some shit. Yeah, for sure.
But first, let's go over the numbers because, well, it's impressive. As seen here from Gaming Bolt, they reported that the game has now sold somewhere over 2 million units on Steam alone. Factoring in the other platforms, yeah, the
2
game is a
million?
bona fide hit already. But what's even more absurd is its open critic score. Like, dude, look at this. Arc Raiders has
Damn. Holy shit. 92 for top critic average. 90% critics recommend. Holy fuck, dude. Dude, that's fucking wild. I didn't know it was like that.
100 score from players on OpenCritic. I don't think I've ever seen that happen.
Yeah, that too. 100 player rating.
People who bought the game is kind of crazy, but hey, as of now, anyways, that is true. I'm sure the number will eventually drop somewhat in the future, but at this very moment, anyways, it's still pretty insane. Even the critic scores are high, putting the game in the 90s. Well, like I said, the point of this video isn't really how good the game is or how it's doing, because all of that is pretty obvious. This video is actually how the content creators who push a game like this from your big time streamers and so on all seem to be trying to do to Arc Raiders what they tried to do with seemingly every single other multiplayer shooter game they've also gotten their hands on in the past.
Yeah.
I don't want to be shooting robots!
Which is that these streamers are trying to turn Arc Raiders into something it just isn't. One of these
into a competitive shooter.
Slays. That's this guy on screen here. He openly called.
Here's the thing, though. Like, yeah, it's not a competitive shooter, but for there to be completely two different like server types, where you have people who don't really shoot anybody and we all get along. Hell, people even give me shit that I needed, right? Like I've been given blueprints in parts from bots that I needed to upgrade benches just because I told them how to deal with the explodey boys. Okay. And then you have them, and it's like, bro, they can't go around a corner without getting absolutely shot at, right? They have griefers, they have rats, and I don't have to deal with that ever. Really nice.
Arc Raiders to just flat out remove the PvE element of the game. Here's what he said. Arc Raiders would be the game if the robots didn't exist. This AI coding ain't it.
Now, I don't know this Tanner Slaves. Maybe I should, but I don't know him. But in my opinion, it's an extraction shooter. Don't all extraction shooters have a PvE element? I mean, Arc Raiders is the first extraction shooter I've played, right? But even in like Tarkov, for example, doesn't it have PvE elements in it? Doesn't it have actual like NPCs in the game? It does, right? Like every extraction shooter has a PvE element. I don't know why this dude is like, the bot shouldn't exist. What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? Why not? That's the whole point of an extraction shooter, right? Also, I think the bots being in the game while you're also with players is what makes it the game. Because not only do you have to worry about the bots, but you also have to worry about the players. You have you're fighting on two different fronts. If all you had to do was worry about the players, then it would just be another BR at that point in time, in my opinion. It would. And also, I think here's the thing also, this dude's fucking wrong because the game would be boring if it was just players. You know how many times I've been in a game and I never saw a single fucking player ever? I didn't see a single fucking person, not once. The bots being in the game fills the game up with an enemy type that when the players aren't around, it keeps you on edge in the game. This dude is a moron. He's fucking wrong. He's stupid. He's really, really dumb. Bro, just go play PUBG or some shit. I don't know which. Go back to Warzone. If that's what you want. I don't know.
One
This dude's
user that
stupid.
tells Tanner
He's
that the Ark
really dumb.
robots are actually the main threat of
Someone didn't listen to the cutscene in the Ark is a main threat. Nah, I skipped all that shit. To be fair, I did too. But to be fair, also, it's very like you don't need to watch the cutscene to know that. It's very, very obvious how this is, right? I mean, if you've ever seen movies or anything like that, this is kind of the same spiel, right? It's the same thing. It's a post-apocalyptic world. All of humanity is trying to work together. However, there's only so many stuff that can go around. So you do have people that will work with you, but you also have people that will fucking kill you for all of your shit. Because of course they want it too. There's a limited amount of resources going around. They need to make money. They need to eat too, right? But the main enemy, the main threat is the thing that caused the apocalypse, which is the Ark.
the game if he watched the cutscenes that the game started with, but like usual, Tanner, as seen here, admits that he just skipped all the cutscenes to get into the game.
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful.
I
So
did
he wants
too.
the game to remove the PvE elements, which is more than half of what this game is, by the way, and he didn't even watch the cutscenes either. Unfortunately, this sort of player exists by the thousands. It's
Yeah.
not really unique to Tanner. I have even friends in real life who have thousands of hours in games like Destiny 2 with the best guns and the mods imaginable, but if you ask them what the story or the characters are in
Destiny's boring as shit. I don't blame them for not knowing the story. The story is boring as shit. Who gives a fuck?
Destiny's world, they will look at you like you're speaking a different language. There's just those sorts of players, you know? They're playing for the gameplay and the rewards and care next to nothing about, well, really anything else. But
It's
claiming
true.
that PvE shouldn't exist is kind of crazy. I'm
It is.
actually on the opposite side. I think PvE should become more of a focus, if I'm being honest. And if you want
How could you focus on PvE any more than it already is? That's my question. How can you focus on PvE even more than it already is? You already have PvE events. You have to do PvE to get certain items so that way you can upgrade your benches and build weapons and shields and rechargers. Like, how can PvE be any more focused?
more content that isn't corporate slop tied
I don't
to
think
big
that's
companies
possible.
dictating what people can or can't say, consider liking this video, subscribing, or becoming a channel member. Thank you. And what I say next, it might anger some people, but hear me out. But also let me know what you think too, because no opinion here is wrong either. But it's actually, in my opinion, the PvP element of this game that I find the least important. I may even
It
drop
is.
a hot take here, but let me just say it.
The PvP is the least important. It is. However, I do see why PvP can be a thing. Like I said, you know, there's a time when I spawned in at 18 minutes. The game starts at 30 minutes. So I'm almost spawned in at almost halfway through and there's no loot around because everybody had already looted everything. Yeah, I can understand why people would kill someone else just so they can get their shit because I spawned in late. Oops.
I would actually be totally fine if Arc Raiders added PvE only lobbies, and no, I'm not kidding. I mean,
Let me think about that. PvE only lobbies. I don't think the game will be as fun. I don't. And this is coming from someone who's never actually like participated in like PvP. I only killed one guy and I felt really bad for it, but that's besides the point. But I don't like have to really worry about PvP, right? And here's the issue with that is that when you come across another stranger, another person, you have to worry about in your head, you're also worrying about, okay, is this guy going to kill me? Is he friendly? He is friendly. Okay, okay, cool, 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 cool. But is he actually? Is he just fooling me? Like you're having this constant thought in your head every time you come across somebody. And sometimes you can come across them. They're like really like, oh yeah, okay, this guy, yeah, I trust you. Whatever, right? Or you pass someone by and they're just like, yeah, I'm leaving. See you later. Bye. No problem. Right? Like you have this conflict. So I think having a PvE only would ruin the game just as much as having a PvP only. I think the game needs to have that balance, and I think that this guy is wrong and stupid for saying that it needs to have a PvE only. No. The whole point of the game is that you come across somebody and you're having this conflict. Is he going to kill me? Is he going to turn on me? Or even your own monologue like I've had, like I don't have no shit. This guy's been looting. Should I shoot him? Should I take all of his shit? Should I kill him? Should I spawned in like 18 minutes. Should I kill this guy? I should kill this guy, right? Like, I spawned in like 18 minutes in. I should kill him. Let me kill him. Can I kill him? Uh, you know, that's the kind of shit that's the inner monologue that you're having constantly. And I think that that is what is the beauty and what makes this game so popular. Not the PvP alone and not the PvE alone. It's a mix of both. That's what people really enjoy, and that's what people really like. I think having a PvE only is the dumbest thing, just like having a PvP only is the dumbest thing. It kind of kills the formula of what the game has created, right? Now, of course, you know, I've seen, clips and stuff like that where basically it is a fucking PvP zone. It pretty much is a PvP zone. I understand that, but that's because of how Arc Raiders has lobbied everything, right? Through your aggression towards other players and your rank, right? So your skill and your aggression. Very, very genius of them, actually. Because now you have let's like you have two separate lobbies, right? You have PvP lobbies and you have PvP PvE lobbies, where the PvE PvP lobbies are basically everybody's super nice to you. They don't have to be, but they're super nice to you. They'll give you shit, or they'll be like, "Yeah, I'll hold this for you. Go ahead, come on in." And then you have PvP lobbies where you turn around a corner and people are just waiting to kill you, even if you just spawned in, just for this, not for your loot, just for the sake of fucking killing you. That's the beauty of it.
Like full-blown lobbies where yes, you can run into other players, but you guys can't shoot each other, and you got
No. See, that's really dumb. I'm sorry, that is really dumb. That's just as dumb as just PvP only lobbies. Really dumb. It really kind of destroys the beauty of this game.
to face increased PvE threats. I would actually love that for this sort of game. I know
No.
it might sound crazy to some, but in actuality, I think a large part of the player base of games like Arc Raiders are not PvP players, clearly. In fact,
Right. Well, they're not, but having that inner monologue and having that constant threat, even though it's not a thing, is still the beauty of the game. It is.
the majority of them are actually casual players based
This
on
is
those
true.
sales numbers anyways, because the reality is that you don't get to 2+ million sales on your game with no prior franchise buildup of any kind by catering only to the crazy PvP centric players out there. The reality is that games like Arc Raiders, just like Helldivers 2, they all live and breathe based on how they can cater specifically to PvE, and this is key, the casual players.
Oh, yeah.
Let me give you a recent
Here's the thing though, casual players also play PvP games. Let's not pretend like casual players don't play any kind of like PvP games. That is the dumbest thing. That is really dumb to say. Casual doesn't mean that you're only in it for the PvE. That's not true. PvP, casual players play PvP as well. Casual players are also shooting other people. Casual players are also doing this. Are they doing it as much as like your not casuals? No, of course not. Your non-casuals are fucking going in there just to kill people, of course. And again, I think having a PvE only, it kind of ruins the formula that the game has, just like a PvP would.
example. Battlefield 6 has actually added a new game mode to their game called Casual
Yeah, casual breakthrough. Here's the thing about that though. It has a level cap. So it's like basically it's you just started the game. All right, cool. You can do this casual breakthrough so that way you can get with other like low levels so you're not getting absolutely obliterated by somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing. It has a level cap. It's stopped by level cap. That's it.
Breakthrough. It's like the usual breakthrough mode with tons of people fighting, of course, and vehicles and whatnot, but it's designed actually for people who want to clear their challenges and gain experiences for their guns
Because it has
without
bots.
getting shot 24/7 by other players who are a lot sweatier than they are.
Yeah.
The reason why DICE added this mode to Battlefield 6 was pretty simple. They were likely noticing plenty of lower level players whose KDs aren't 5.0 and above either leaving the game entirely or complaining in
Cordy,
forums
welcome
and
in.
online that they're sick of being sniped by Monster Energy drink infused players who just end them over and
Nah, see, this is Battlefield. Battlefield's Red Bull. Call of Duty is Monster. You gotta get it. You got it wrong, dude. He's got it wrong again. I'm sorry, dude. This dude is wrong
over
all the
again.
time.
Of course, this addition to Battlefield 6 has angered the hardcore side of the fan base.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. There's a level cap for that. There's a level cap for the casual breakthrough. For any of the casual modes, there's a level cap. Why would nobody who's hardcore is pissed off about that? I see that. I see the casual breakthrough and the casual all the other fucking modes, and guess what I say? Oh, that's cool. All right, I'm gonna go to regular conquest every time. Battlefield is crack. I love Battlefield, dude. I really do. Dude, flying the jets is so much fun. I've had so much fun learning to fly the jets and relearning to fly helicopters because I haven't actually flown anything since Battlefield 2. Battlefield Bad Company 2. It's a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun with the jets and everything like that. Oh my god, especially when you pass over with the bomb with the fighter with the bombs and you just fucking drop the bomb on like a point in conquest and you just boom and you just oh, it's so good. Oh man, makes my dick hard every time that happens. I'm gonna be honest, it does.
But in reality, I think adding a casual mode to something like Battlefield 6 is going to be a net positive for the game.
Well, of course, yeah, it's a net positive. But here's the thing: the hardcore fans aren't pissed off about it. This dude's making shit up. I haven't seen anybody who's pissed off about that. Nobody, no, none of the hardcore fans are. Why? Very simple. It doesn't affect us. We passed the level cap. It doesn't affect us. That's it. It doesn't affect us. Who cares?
The future. The reason being is, again, whether you want to admit it or not, the majority of the player bases for these sorts of games are not streamers. These
Yeah, of
games,
course.
including Arc Raiders, they cannot survive for years on the dedication or the players who are able to just play these sorts of games for 12 hours a day. The
It has some
reality is
great
that
moments.
those
It
people
does, dude.
have normal
Battlefield
jobs and
Sandbox is
schedules
what
and
makes those
other
great moments and it's what
responsibilities.
makes it a
Stuff,
lot
I
of
know.
fun.
It doesn't mean they don't.
Marty, did
also
you
play
fucking
games.
subscribe
I
to
think
me?
the dad with kids who works 8 hours
never
a day
popped
and wants
up.
to enjoy an hour or
What
two
the
of
fuck?
Battlefield a night or Arc Raiders to level up his guns and have fun is just as valid.
I
To
got 6
enjoy
months
his time spent as,
sub
say,
badge next to
Shroud,
my
someone
name.
who plays for again
Let's
14
go,
hours a day
QWERTY.
every single day.
Let's go. It didn't pop
Min-maxing their
up. That's
stats on their
bullshit.
equipment and sniping people between pixels of rubble because they're so insane. And if you think
That's
the
such
streamers
bullshit.
are who these kinds of games should cater to, that's actually usually how these games actually fail. Because it's always better to cater to the overwhelming 99% of players than that small fringe minority that plays these games with lightning fast movement. Like they have Red Bull being injected straight
There you
into
go.
their brains.
Yes,
Look,
Red
I'll
Bull.
fully admit it, okay? I'm not a hardcore Arc Raiders or Battlefield or really any sort of shooter fan myself. I could care less about my KD. I don't care about ranking up in some ranked mode. I play mostly single player games for a reason. Even when I play Marvel Rivals, I just play casual. I admit it. I don't care. And it's mostly because I can't percent of the time
Makes me feel
either
special.
because I hate waiting on others, but also because I find many other players in games are just very reactive and they shoot first and ask questions later. And if you played Arc Riders, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And a big reason
Wrong. I've played Arc Raiders. Wrong. That's wrong. And I've come across people who don't shoot first. In fact, my lobbies have been nothing but kind. Everybody's been super nice. I helped like yesterday I helped a couple guys out, right? Because they were having problems with the blow you up boys. And I told them what to do to avoid them and how to like easily kill them. And one dropped me a blueprint for the firecracker box, and the other one dropped me a surveyor vault that I needed. Like, what are you talking about? I come in my lobbies, everybody's super nice and kind. What the fuck? No. My lobbies have been super nice and kind. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Why I enjoyed stuff like Helldivers 2 or even Destiny, for example, was simple because it wasn't, at least at first anyways, PvP focused. And just like Arc Raiders, the same sort of streamers like Dr. Disrespect, for example, have notoriously tried to push for Helldivers, just like he is now with Arc Raiders.
Yeah, and he's stupid for pushing Helldivers to have a PvP option. That is the dumbest fucking thing in the world. It is. Helldivers isn't a PvP game. It is really dumb for him to push PvP. The reason he wants to push PvP is simple. He's a PvP player, of course. And his viewers liked Helldivers, but he doesn't like PvE. It's very simple. I got shot from across the map with a grenade launcher pistol in Arc yesterday. Modders do be dumb. I haven't had that happen ever. I have not had that happen to me at all. Honestly, that sounds like they were aiming at something and they missed and it just so happened to hit you. What it sounds like.
Raiders, by the way, that he wants Battle
Just
Royale in
shit
these
luck.
sorts of games. But the
No.
point is that by removing Arc enemies
Of course he wants a Battle Royale. Why does he want a Battle Royale? It's very fucking simple. Because that's how he makes his content. He makes his content... He makes the content from Battle Royale. Okay? And that's where most of his viewer base watches him for, is Battle Royales. And it is his best interest to play Battle Royales. Of course. Duh. That's... What are we saying here? What are we saying here? Of course that he took out the entire lobby. That fucking
from
sucks, dude.
Arc Raiders, you completely missed the point of what
Dude,
makes
I've been
Arc
having
Raiders
such a good
special
time.
either. Even
Everybody's
the
been so
developers
kind.
have admitted in the past that not only are the Arc enemies the main threat of the game over PvP, I mean, it's literally called Arc Raiders for a reason, but that they do plan to evolve the game beyond it to something from what it is today, because even in their minds, you can't reliably hope that the PvP element of this game will be enough to sustain it. Here's what one of the developers said via Twitch, and please watch this.
And certainly the end game play has to evolve with the game as we go. And you know, we even as early as a year ago began talking about what the next evolution was. So it's something that's on our radar for sure. So once the game's live, we see.
I mean, I can already tell you what you need to do. Here's what they need to do for the next evolution. You need to have like raids, like actual raids. I know that we're always like raiding, but I mean, you need to have like actual like boss raids, shit like that, right? Like actual boss raids. I think that would be really good. Similar to like what Destiny does, but maybe not super focused on it, right? Like you need to have like actual like boss raid event. I know that we have like the Monarch and shit, but that, I mean, something more than that. Something that feels like you're actually doing something to like fight for humanity in a sense. I think that would be really crazy. That'd be really cool. Something that is actually tied to the story of Arc Raiders, and you're actually doing like a boss raid of some. I think that'd be I think that'd be really, really fun, and that'd be really good for the game.
Players are engaging with the game loop we have, the game mode we have. I think it's only natural to look toward the future into how we evolve the experience, because I can't say for sure.
Now, what I can tell you, developers of Arc Raiders, what you need to do, first and foremost, what you need to do is you need to fix the fucking bug, because you need to fix the bug to where I am not able to play night mode or anything like that, because the timers on my fucking server are fucking wrong. And I can go on a third-party server and I can see what it actually is. However, that doesn't always work, because on top of that, sometimes I won't be able to go in to the correct server, because it just won't let me, because it's completely, the timing on it is completely fucking off. Fix that first. That should be your number one thing to fix, because that is the most annoying thing. Options that, like night mode and everything like that, that are supposed to get you to the next level, to help progress you for progression, doesn't work. Fix that first. For sure. Fix that first.
That the game will subsist forever on the format we have today, but
yeah, it won't. You got to do more.
Taking a moment in any way.
You got to do more. You got to do more, because here's the thing, like a lot of extraction shooters, they have a lot, there's a lot more complexity to them. For example, you have whole bunch of different types of ammunition and things like that, and there's a lot more complexity to it. Arc Raiders doesn't have that kind of complexity. So you need to fill in the complexity with content, right? And I think that's a lot better format than like what Tarkov does, for example, right? Tarkov is just complex as shit. You need to you need to replace that complexity with content for sure.
These sessions and stood still and listened to the low soundtrack and the wind and the trees and looked on these environments, that this game can hold so much more than
Mm-hmm.
just the game mode we have today, however compelling it might be. And I think it'd always be a waste of what we've built to keep it there.
For sure.
As you just heard,
Smart.
Arc Raiders will evolve beyond what it is today. What
As it
that
should.
form becomes, I don't know yet. But if I had to guess, I think the way you keep a game like this alive is you delve more into the PvE elements over that of its PvP, if you ask me. For a great example, I mentioned it already, of how trying to cater to both parties tends to rip a game apart, just go look at Destiny, and especially Destiny 2. That
Yeah.
game has for years tried to cater to both PvP players and the more casual and far larger PvE player base. The problem, however, with Destiny 2 is that the nature of how the guns and abilities and so on exist, it becomes a logistical nightmare. Trying to figure out how exactly you can balance all of these incredible powers and the gun.
Oh, that's really simple because here's the thing, right? Like the first Destiny did it really well. So you had like separate armors and separate guns that had that like you had the conclave guns and stuff that you could get that actually do better in the conclave than your PvE weapons did. They did it really well. You had a separate loadout and everything like that for conclave outside of like the regular PvE in Destiny. I didn't really play Destiny 2, so I don't know how that's going, but I know the first one, it did a really good job on separating the two and making it to where, you know, the conclave was another type of grind. If you wanted to get the weapons that'll fucking do well in conclave because of how the stats change depending on if you're in conclave or if you were in PvE. I think they did a really good job with that.
With most of them, let's be real, built for PvE play into a PvP-centric environment. The answer that Bungie came to with Destiny 2 anyways, was that they would make guns and such that were only suited for PvP. This led to weapons like the Mountaintop, the Ace of Spades, the Thorn, Igneous Hammer, Ias Luna, Gallowhorn. Those are the ones
The Thorn was good in PvE also in the original Destiny. I really enjoyed the Thorn.
on top of my head anyways, and many, many more, all becoming the best weapons in PvP, at least when I was playing it anyways. But the problem with Destiny 2, for example, and why this is important to Arc Raiders to learn, is that eventually those PvP players will want harder, more extreme modes. So then Destiny 2 would create the Trials of Osiris, where you would need to win 7 games in a row to go to the lighthouse to get your loot. And this was for the best loot in the game pretty much. So the best of the best players would all play together. It got so competitive and toxic that players would start using hacks to crash enemy players' IP addresses. And I'm not kidding. To force them to
DDoS, dude?
lose
They get
so that they
DDoS?
could win without even playing the game. This then led to players who did reach the lighthouse gaining weapons with the best PvP-centric roles, who would then go back into the mode, obviously, and then demolish the players who couldn't reach the lighthouse because either they were also getting their IP addresses destroyed, or they were just getting defeated by the players who were able to get to the lighthouse that had dramatically better weapons that are suited for, you know, the game mode they were playing. This obviously destroyed the PvP element of Destiny 2, and don't even get me started on those players that had all of the Trials of Osiris amazing gear, and then them going into the casual PvP like playlist, whatever it's called. Like, dude, it was so toxic and awful. And whenever they would add new abilities and other guns and whatever else, it continued to just ruin and then sever the balance between the PvE and the PvP sides of Destiny. Nowadays, Destiny 2's player base is in the dumps for all sorts of reasons, but for me anyways, one of the big reasons was that its PvP modes were completely unplayable unless you no-lifed it. It was just people who spend more time than I.
Well, that's any kind of like MMO. Here's the thing. Destiny is an MMO, right? It's an MMO. Any MMO is that way. Look at World of Warcraft for a good example. Okay? The PvP in World of Warcraft is pretty much you're broken, right? They're using specific gear. They're using a specific type of like PvE or PvP abilities and things like that, and all these other things. Of course, that's how it works. It's how it's always going to work. You're not going to get around that. Players are going to figure out the best way to kill other players if you give them the ability to kill other players. We can even take Arc Raiders as another good example, right? The fucking Stitcher 4, that was fucking busted apparently, and people were using that all the time to kill other players. It's going to happen. You can't avoid that. If you give, it's like TTP. Okay, so TTP, when you give players the ability to draw, how much time until they draw a penis? Time till penis. The same thing. If you give the players the ability to kill other players, how much time until they break it? If you give players freedom, they'll find a way to become incredibly OP. Exactly. That's just how it is. Min maxers exist, right? That's just how it's going to be. You can't avoid it. There's no avoiding it.
Did in the game using weapons that were dramatically better than mine, that were tailor-made for that mode, just beating me. So I just stopped playing it. And Arc Raiders, like I said, could head down a similar path, which is why I think when you have a game that is both trying to cater to both sides of these elements, eventually that rope is going to snap, and you need to, out of necessity of survival, decide which side of the aisle you want to cater to more to ensure that your game keeps going.
Damn, he left his ass.
And it's
Damn, they fucking said fuck you. They left his ass. You see that? Oh, dude, he wasn't gonna make that.
very obvious for anyone who's played Arc Raiders that its PvE element, player versus environment, in case you don't know what it means, is far more important than its PvP, player versus player, because the Arc robot enemies are already dangerous as is.
They are.
And Embark Studios could easily
even here, and they actually did a really good job, right? Because it isn't like there's a specific arc that is like what the fuck ever, right? Even the smallest arcs are dangerous. And it's really nice. I really do enjoy that. To where like you come across like the poppers, for example, obviously those are dangerous. But once you figure out how to dodge them, it's actually really easy to deal with them. But even then, they're still dangerous, right? And then you have like another good example, like the weakest enemy is the fucking little ticker, right? That crawls around and jump on your face. Also dangerous. If you aren't paying attention and they latch to you, you get one to latch to you, it's whatever, right? You can fight them off. However, you get two that latch to you, you can't fight them off. You're fucked. You're dead. Right? And then on top of that, in my opinion, the deadliest enemy is the fucking wasp. The little small fucking drones. Because they have fucking auto aim. They have like aimbot, dude. And they're fucking you up. It's really, really nuts. Right, and of course you have, your wasp. Honestly, I think the wasp is the easiest to deal with. They just have armor, but you just have to fuck with its aim because it's trying to lead its shot. So you just like right when it's about to shoot, you just go the other way and it'll fucking miss you every time. But then you have like the Rocketeer, and I mean like all of the enemies are dangerous. And I really like
Arc
that.
robot enemies are already dangerous as is.
Yeah.
And Embark Studios could easily add new PvE threats to spice it up. But if
Of course.
do that, while also having players who will...
And they've already done that, right? Because apparently there's something else called the Shredder now, which I guess came out whenever they released the newest area. Whenever they released the newest area, they released the other arc that's called the Shredder, right? And yeah.
inevitably reach the ceiling and what they can reasonably obtain, they will eventually turn to just griefing newer players by hunting them, which won't work for the longevity of the game. And this has happened in many other games that also have tried this too. Because then the newer players...
True. Except there's still a game out there that does this and has a really and still is very PvP centered, and that would be Tarkov. Okay, Tarkov. It has griefers too, and people still play the fuck out of that game. Now, to be fair, it's a very complex game, and it's not for casuals in the slightest, but
players will just get frustrated because these older guys that have way better guns and stuff will just keep, knocking them out, and then they'll just drop the game and walk away. This means that Arc Raiders will have to either pull a Destiny 2 and separate both experiences, which really doesn't work either way, or just focus on one, and they will know that the PvE element will be the logical path to follow here, which will, annoy the streamer.
I think that honestly what they should do is they should just focus on the PvE element. They don't need to focus on PvP. Players are already doing that regardless. You don't need to focus on PvP to try and get like PvP style weapons and things like that. No, you just do PvE and focus on that, and players will make PvP themselves. That's how it's going to work. That's how it has always worked for now. That's how it's going to work. It's all you need to do.
but it just is what it is. Because obviously you have quests in Arc Raiders that tell you, for example, find batteries and wires, go fix this roof, turn on this computer, etc., etc. And all of these quests obviously are PvE things that you need to do. The hardest part of any one of these missions, besides the Arc robots hunting you, is of course if some other player finds you first. I would even go as far as to say I would be cool if Embark just added robot raiders to Arc Raiders that you can shoot in the game. Maybe put an icon on them so players know that they're bots first, but I would prefer that honestly over some random players just griefing everyone else 24/7.
You're gonna have the griefers. Like, I'm sorry, you're gonna have them. It's something that you have to deal with in a game like this. Like you're just being a little pussy at this point. I'm sorry, you are. This guy's being a little bitch, a little pussy about griefers. You're gonna have them. You just have to deal with them. Is it annoying? Yes, it is. But it's the way this game is, and it honestly it adds to the game. It adds to the formula in a positive way. I know a lot of people don't like griefers, but it does add another layer of depth to the game. It does. Sorry about it. Quit being a little bitch. Stop being a little bitch about it. It's part of the beauty of the game.
And I also think a big wall for many players enjoying Arc Raiders 2 is they're likely afraid to actually upgrade their weapons or armor and bring their gear into the game as
Yeah, okay, I had this issue as well. However, I was afraid to do it, not because of other players, but because I didn't know how to kill the arcs. I didn't know what the arcs were going to do. I didn't know how to survive, things like that. However, as I kept playing, I progressed and I learned how to do it.
well. Because if you spend all those resources on this gun you like and then you get sniped and then you lose it forever, that loss feels terrible. Like I said in the beginning, I still mourn that shotgun I lost. And I think it won't be long until Embark adds a system where even if you do get zeroed, you don't lose
see, you
your
fucked
weapons forever. Think of it like Dark Souls, right? When you get defeated, you drop your souls where it happened. You are now given a second chance to return to where you lost to retrieve your souls. If you fail before grabbing it, then you lose them forever. Even Diablo has done this as well, all the way back with Diablo 2, where all your items and stuff would be left on your character.
Okay, what are you getting at here? These are not the same games. Are you trying to compare this game to Arc, or you're trying to compare Arc Raiders to the Souls games and fucking Diablo?
His body, you would have a second chance to go grab it. Yet in Arc Raiders, if you get shot and taken out, that's it. It's over. It doesn't feel good. Again,
It's an extraction shooter. This is the dumbest thing that, yeah, of course it doesn't feel good. You know why? But here's the thing. That's the beauty of the game. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. You don't want to die. That's like saying, oh man, battle royales. Oh fuck, dude, battle royales. Fuck, man. You grab all this stuff and then you die and you don't win. Oh, that doesn't feel good. Yeah, no shit. It doesn't feel good. No shit. What do you want?
can already hear the PvP players hitting their keyboards and whatever, saying, well, that's the point of the game. But again, this is where that rope being pulled by each side begins to tether and
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. This dude is full of shit. That's the beauty of extraction shooters. Whatever extraction shooter you go into, it happens, right? And I mean, also, here's the thing. It isn't that the PvP is the danger. It's that also the PvE is. You can get killed by just bots, by a Rocketeer, or by like 3 Hornets that are just cracking your ass down. You get killed by them. And guess what? You still lose all of your shit. This dude's dumb. Hold on. I'm gonna be right back. I started drinking my Monster and I got a shit, dude. I got a shit so bad. We'll be right back. All right. So this guy, here's the thing, right? This is really fucking dumb about his take. He's about as dumb as the your battle royale streamers for wanting battle royale in every fucking game they play. Okay, it's just as dumb. It is. Let's continue. Thank you, Cordy. I started drinking my Monster, dude, and I was trying to be like make it to the end of this video, but I couldn't. I couldn't do it. It was really starting to fuck with me, dude. I had to shit so bad. But let's continue.
The overwhelming majority of people who play these games are not PvP gods in their rooms drinking 5-hour energy boosts every single day.
Do people still drink 5-hour energies? I fucking can't stand 5-hour energy. There's not enough kick in them. I'm gonna be honest, there's not.
And I don't know about you, but when it comes to Arc Raiders, I almost don't want to upgrade or even use the guns that I like. Instead,
Now, also keep this in mind, he's only level 15. He's admitted that he's only level 15, And I'm sorry, but yeah, of course. I did have to let it go, dude. It was bad. This dude's only level 15, and he's like, I'm afraid to level anything up. Of course you are. You haven't played enough of the game. You haven't realized how easy it is to level things up. Duh. Duh. That's how it is. I mean, I was that way too. I didn't level anything up because I was afraid that if I leveled it up and I lost it, then it'd be gone forever and I wouldn't have it anymore. But now guess what? I leveled everything up. I level it all up. Why? Because it's easier to kill bots with leveled up weapons. Duh.
Usually, I opt for the free loadout because I don't
And he uses the free loadout. Bro uses the free loadout. He opts. I'm just gonna use free loadout. I'm gonna use free loadout because I'm afraid of losing all my stuff. You know what we call that? Bitch made. Bitch made. Pussy shit. That's pussy shit. You know what this honestly is? Here's the thing about this, okay? You obviously don't like extraction shooters. And you are complaining that it's an extraction shooter, and you're complaining that it's doing extraction shooter things, and you do not like the aspect of the really big punishment that you get for being shit at the game. I'm shit at the game. I am. Okay? I am. There's a really big punishment for being shit at the game. Quit being a little bitch and just do it. Okay? Just do it. What are we doing here?
want to lose the guns that I enjoyed and put so much time into. Unfortunately, that
You didn't put that much time into them. You're just a little bitch.
doesn't really work. And while you can't,
promise you
upgrade
didn't
your
put that
guns,
much
I
time
guess,
into
it
'em.
doesn't seem to upgrade the tier of the gun when you remake it a second time. Maybe
Of course it doesn't. You have to fucking. I upgraded it. I upgraded the weapon to level 4, but now when I make another weapon, if I make another weapon, it's not level 4 anymore. I have to do it all over again. Oh, this is stupid. Bitch made.
I'm wrong, but I think a good
You're
change
wrong.
would be to allow the weapon
No.
upgrade system also permanently up.
No, it's not. It isn't. That would decrease the punishment that happens whenever you get killed. That punishment needs to happen. That punishment needs to be there. You can't have, oh, if I upgraded this weapon, it should be always level 4. No, that's stupid. That's bitch made shit. And it proves that you are in fact just level 15 and yet you haven't really played the game much. Because here's the thing, the amount of stuff that you need to upgrade a weapon to level 4, at least a tier 1 weapon, a gray weapon, for example, right, is minuscule. You really don't need that much stuff to do it, and it's not that hard to do. I think that honestly the hardest thing that you have to do, that you have to get, would be like your the little weapon, the gray weapon boxes, whatever the fuck, right, that you can get from Wasp sometimes, or you can find. That's all you need. That's like the biggest thing. Everything else is super easy to get, and really those are also really easy to get too. Just kill a Wasp and you'll fucking get them a lot of the times.
Upgrade the rank of the weapons you can make from the get-go as well. Because if you spend all these materials
No.
making a gun level 3 or 4, let's say, and then you lose it, and then your
The materials aren't that expensive for the weapons you're using. You're just bitch made.
only option now is to make the weapon again, but it's of course level 1. And now you have to spend all these extra resources just to get back to where you were before. That feels bad. It feels like a genuine waste of time. But if you could
Because you're shit at the game. You're shit at the game. You're only level 15. You haven't unlocked enough areas. You haven't even unlocked all the areas yet.
just
What the
upgrade the
fuck?
base level of the weapon you make from the workstation, so if I lose my, let's say, level 4 Rattler, but I can just go
And you're using the Rattler? Ugh, dude, that gun sucks ass.
back to my base,
Would
hit
you
a
ever use
button,
that?
spend the resources, and make another level 4 Rattler because I've upgraded it to level 4 from 1, obviously.
No.
That urge to keep playing is better in my opinion.
Your opinion is wrong. It's an extraction shooter. You do everything and so you can have all of this stuff. The danger increases because you don't want to lose the stuff that you have put time into. That's the whole point. The danger is supposed to be there.
Because I won't feel like what I lost was such a big burden on, well, all of my resources.
It is a big burden on all of your resources. That's the point. It's a resource manager. You need to. This dude's fucking
Would that make the
stupid.
game more casual? Yes, it would. But
Of
why does that
course.
even matter? Isn't
Of course, it'd make it more casual, but the point isn't trying to make it more casual or to focus on other things. It's the game has a formula that has made it popular. One of the reasons that it's popular is, in fact, the punishment. Okay, the punishment for dying is very extreme. That's one of the reasons why this game is so popular. Don't fuck with it. People do, even casuals do in fact enjoy the punishment from it. Even if they hate it in the moment, they do in fact enjoy the punishment of fuck, I fucked up, I lost, I died. Even if you were griefed, you fucked up because you should have known you were gonna get griefed. Let's be honest, griefers, they follow a pattern. No, you should know the pattern by now. You should have played enough video games to know what griefers are gonna do and where they're gonna be at. Let's be honest here.
it just a win-win for everyone really involved either way? Because the player who loses their gear will get back to where they were faster, which will cause them to keep playing and probably buy more cosmetics and whatnot. And even if they do get shot down again, the player who got them down now has access to that increased gear economy as well.
Okay, so this is what's gonna happen if you're gonna do that, right? So if you kill someone that has like level 4 fucking equipment, or has like a purple tier weapon, and now since you picked that up, now you can build that weapon. You know what that's gonna do? It's gonna increase the PvP. No,
So how is
no.
that anyway a negative for anyone? But credit where
It's
it's
a
due, at
big
least
big
Arc
negative,
Raiders does
actually.
give you a safe slot on your person depending on the build, I guess, that you
The bunghole slot. Yes, the prison pocket.
use, but at least lets you keep one item safe even if you lose back to base or whatever, which already tells me that these developers are fully aware that adding these quality of life improvements that differ.
Yeah, and you can actually get up to, I think, 3 prison pocket slots. Here's the thing, though. That's only for certain items that you really don't want to lose, like blueprints, guns that you already have access to. And even then, you can't even put guns in your prison pocket. Okay, you can't. Sorry about it.
Differentiated from other extraction shooters is helping people to play their game and get into it in the first place. I mean, it's even worse.
The safe pocket is not what's helping people get into the game. It's not. It's not. You know what's helping people get into the game? It's how popular the game is. That's what's helping people get into the game.
If you play around,
Why
you
I'm
happen to
playing
spawn
it.
amidst like a swarm of PvE robots, if you will, and they just take you down immediately. And then you can't even revive yourself. Sure, you could spec fully into the left tree of the skill tree.
I think that there should be some sort of self-reply or self-revive. I mean, I think that there should be some sort of self-revive. I do think so. I think that honestly you should be able to use the defib to revive yourself. Because here's the thing, as a solo player, I never use I never have defibs on me because there's no point. I'm not with people. What do I need defibs for? I think that if you're able to use the defib as a self-revive, it'll make it a lot better. For solo, I think. Welcome back, Cordy. I think yeah, if you could either or even have a separate item for self-reviving, I think that'd be really good.
You can revive yourself after a certain amount of time. For
Being a
players,
solo
they won't
player, it
have
really
that,
sucks.
But the investment to get to what should be a basic thing you should be able to do at least once in a match is a massive
Did the ads actually start? I don't think they did.
Investment of
I don't think
points
they
that
did.
most players might not
We're just
even
gonna keep
get
going.
to before they get too frustrated and leave entirely anyways. It's that I don't think that Arc Raiders will honestly survive if it believes that it needs to cater to specifically streamers over casual players. Because when you have people like
I'm a solo player, dude. Listen, if you die in solo, guess what? You're just fucked.
back screaming that he hates fighting robots.
I don't want to fight these robots.
Well, that's because he got killed by a robot. You see how that happens? You see, he doesn't want to fight robots because he got killed by a robot. Because a robot, you can't just shoot the robot in the face and kill them, right? Like he's used to shooting people in the face and killing them. It's really easy for him. But robots add another line of difficulty. Also, he's in character. Let's keep this in mind too. Dr. Disrespect has a character. He's in character. He died to a robot. Now, here's the thing. I'm not sure if he actually died to a robot. However, context that I'm seeing here, he died to a robot. So he's bitching about dying to a robot.
It kind of makes you wonder, well, maybe this game isn't built for the PvP people like him, you know? For example, Battlefield 6 has a Battle Royale mode. It came out recently. And
Never played
honestly,
it.
I've heard next to no hype about it at all. Most people just
Well, it's because here's the thing: a lot of people are tired of battle royales. The battle royale genre is dying. It is, and it has been for a while. People are tired of battle royales. There's a battle royale. Every other fucking game has a battle royale. And whenever a game doesn't have a battle royale, all of your big streamers are screaming that it should have a battle royale. People are tired of battle royales. They are. It was a lightning in a bottle whenever PUBG did it. Whenever H1Z1 did it. It was whenever Fortnite did it. It was lightning in a bottle. And there are still people that enjoy, battle royales. I don't. I'm sick and tired of battle royales. I do not have fun playing them. I find it really annoying. I don't like them in the slightest. I used to play them all the time. It was a new thing. It was a lot of fun then. But after you played a lot of them, it gets boring and it gets tiresome, and I don't want to play it anymore. Battle royales are dying, of course.
seem to want to keep playing the base game over that of its Battle Royale. It's as if the BR just exists in something like Battlefield 6 to make these sorts of players happy, to shut them up even. But it's not the sort of experience that people are really looking for to play Battlefield.
Well, no, of course not. Like, here's the thing. Battlefield players don't play Battlefield for a Battle Royale. They play it for conquest. They play it for, breakthrough. They play it so that way they can have a military sim type game where you can get in a tank and fucking obliterate a sniper with it. This is why people play Battlefield. Duh.
Just in September this year, as you can see, Arrowhead, which makes Helldivers, said themselves don't expect Battle Royale to be added to Helldivers 2. And
it shouldn't. There's no reason for Helldivers 2 to have a Battle Royale. There's no point for that. It is the dumbest thing. The only reason that the Helldivers 2 devs are saying this is because so many streamers were screaming that it should have a Battle Royale because they're dumb as shit. Because, of course, they want a Battle Royale. Not because they enjoy Battle Royale, but because their viewers enjoy Battle Royale. Enjoy that shit. It makes for good content. It does. But, of course, they're not going to do that because it's stupid.
Anytime soon, although they won't say
now.
Never.
Of course, Helldivers 2 has kind of died.
Really doesn't need a Battle Royale at all. At best, it could have what Arc Raiders does.
It will kill the game, in my opinion. It would kill the game, but also here's the reality of it. Helldivers 2 is already dead. Helldivers 2 was lightning in a bottle again, but there wasn't enough in the game early enough to where now it's like a lot of the player base has just left it. There's newer and bigger things out there than Helldivers 2. There is.
Squads or maybe solo
Already
players that
dead.
drop on a planet to do missions.
Already
They
dying.
get hunted by PvE enemies and maybe players alike. I guess I could see that, but full blown let's drop down and shoot each other. Yeah, I don't know about that. Helldivers doesn't exactly have Call of Duty level movement. Your characters are rather clumsy, if anything, on purpose in that game. And I think at best what Arc Raiders could add maybe is team deathmatch or something like domination, where players can compete to level their characters more, get attachments maybe for their guns and whatnot that they can then use in.
Have a separate team deathmatch. No, I don't think that'll be a good direction either. Like, he's trying really hard to separate the PvP players from the PvE players. The point of the game is that you can't separate them because you want them together. But now, even then, though, the Arc Raider devs have already really separated the super aggressive players from the non-aggressive players. They've already done that. They've said that. And that's why when I go into my lobbies, solo queue, by the way, which also this might be his issue too. Hey, I highly suggest you stop doing this. Just go solo and you'll realize it's a completely different experience. You don't have to worry about other players and other people because everybody is solo and it's a lot better. It's a way better experience in my opinion.
The base game. However, even this could
being a bitch, going solo.
For Arc Raiders like it did with Destiny 2. If players who grind PvP modes then get better weapons or attachments that are meant for PvP, and then they go into PvP mode, however you call it, whatever it's called, and then they just destroy those players anyways too. Like I said, it's a hard balancing act, and I genuinely can't think of a single game where both modes that are equally.
This dude sucks so much, dude. Did he really? Dude, this dude really... Look, he has 100 light mag rounds, and he's trying to get another 100. He had this, and he salvaged it. He salvaged it in game. You just have what you could have got from this. If you would have held on to this and salvaged it outside of the actual and if you salvaged it in the lobby, you would have gotten 18 instead of fucking 9. What the fuck, dude? This dude sucks ass. Also, there's no point to try to get another 100 rounds. I mean, maybe you could, but let's see. What else could you have done? Let's see. What could you have gotten rid of that would have been a lot better? Oh, this right here. Get rid of that. I know it's a Stitcher. You already have a Stitcher. You can also make Stitchers, and you can also buy them fairly cheaply. Get rid of the Stitcher. It's a level 1 Stitcher. It's not that big of a deal. Get rid of it. Could have gotten rid of that. Let's see. You have 6 batteries here. That's fair. That's fair. You need batteries. Get rid of this. You don't need that. Get rid of it. You don't need processors right now. Get rid of them. You only have 1 rubber part. Get rid of that. You only have 1. There's no point. Get rid of that, and then you can take your 100 rounds. See, this dude sucks ass. This dude is garbage at the game. I can already tell you.
Gets it right,
he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
It's almost always a problem.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
Up teetering to one side and causing people to leave. Maybe Arc Raiders can maybe take a page out of like RuneScape's book. You see, back in the day when I played RuneScape, which was a long time ago,
Christ.
I admit.
Of course you're a RuneScape player. Jesus fuck.
That game did a whole section of the map that was only PvP. Everything else was PvE. So when you voluntarily walked into the PvP part of the map, it was a free-for-all. People could shoot each other with magic or fight with swords. And then if you fell, whatever was on
so you want
the victor would
specific
take the
maps.
spoils. But it was obviously
So you want specific maps that are PvP centered.
tied to a certain segment of the map only, which was key. Another good, more recent example would probably be Diablo 4. That game was open world and had...
And it sucked ass. Diablo 4 sucked ass. And yes, it had a PvP section. It did. But guess what? Diablo 4 sucked ass. The fuck?
Big map, obviously, but certain parts of the map were designated PvP free-for-alls. These parts of the map were called Fields of Hatred. So obviously, if you went into those fields, you could be slain or destroy other players. I think
that hurt my back.
Raiders maybe had certain parts of their map be PvP-centric, if you
Fuck,
will,
that
but
hurt.
made the parts around it PvE only. That would also only be a boon to its player base. Obviously, you could put very rare resources, maybe expensive valuables that are worth a lot of money to sell.
He just said from Destiny 2 that whenever they did something like that it made it super fucking sweaty. You know what happens whenever you do that? You're gonna make it super sweaty in those areas. This is the dumbest fucking thing that you could have said. You're just going against what you just said. You're gonna put valuable loot in these areas that you have to kill other people to get to. It's gonna be super fucking sweaty. What are we doing? You're just going back on what you just said that they shouldn't do like Destiny 2 did.
In those PvP zones only, which would make the trek into them worth it to grab those items at the risk of obviously running into other high-level players. But this would also allow the players who want a PvE experience to have what they want, and then those who want their hardcore experience to do that also.
Here's the thing, though. It's already a thing. It's already a thing. Listen. If you solo queue, I promise you that you will have a very good experience. Everybody is super nice in solo queue.
Yes. I think
just don't shoot anybody else.
Set up right now, like I said, it doesn't make sense to really go out with your better weapons or gears like 9 times out of 10, at least for me anyways. Because if I'm spending all this time and resources on my guns and whatnot, and then some random player gets a drop on me, and now I gotta grind back to where I was before minutes ago, I'd rather just
grind back to where he was. What is the time here? 1845.
Balancing act.
Grind back to where he was. A level 4 Pharaoh and a level 1 Stitcher. With all, like, level 1 fucking equipment. Grind! The grind to get back to where you're at. Brother, it isn't a grind to get the Pharaoh to level 4. It's not. It's not a grind. The biggest thing, here's the thing. The biggest thing that he would lose that he's going to need is this right here. That's the biggest thing you're going to lose that you're going to need is this right here. This guy honestly has no idea what he's talking about, does he? He doesn't. He doesn't at all. He's level 15. He already said that. I'm level 15. You have no idea what you're talking about. This is the biggest thing that you would lose that you actually need. I'm still looking for these. I have none. I want one. I need one. Right? This is the biggest thing you're going to lose. Right? Now, maybe this and this, if you don't have your workbenches leveled up to where you can just build them. But even then, you can just buy these. It's the biggest thing you're going to lose. Look, look at it. Look, check this out. Check this out. Look, his entire thing. Oh my god, he has one seat in here. You could have gotten rid of the seat and this and freed up more slots. But look how much stuff he has. It's all filled up, right? All of it's filled up. He only has $43,000 worth of 43,000 fucking coins worth. And your inventory is fucking full. Where was it at? 1854?
Rather just leave the game behind and move on, honestly, because it's a waste of time. And before people say, oh, why? Because you're casual? Yeah, I am. I don't care at all for PvP. I like fully admit that. It's like Dark Souls for me, man. I almost always play.
And guess what? If you were solo queue, you wouldn't have to worry about PvP. Just go solo queue. You don't have to worry about it. Stop shooting people. And you don't have to worry about it. They already separated it.
Offline for a reason. I have enough to deal with. I don't want people invading my game. People might hear that and go, oh, you're one of those players. You mean one of those players who doesn't care about PvP? Yep, that's me. Guilty as charged, I guess. Like I said in the beginning, I'm primarily a single player kind of guy. I don't care for co-op, multiplayer stuff most of the time. I even played Ark.
You don't care for co-op, yet all of the scenes you have is you have filled a team for co-op.
Raiders. Like it is a single player game to me. I'm just tired of the squads, and
Yeah, that's why I'm solo queue.
frankly, I don't like that sort of stuff. There's too many variables, too many people that are on the map at any given point.
I'm literally getting ready to install the game.
And if one person in your squad gets down, you're suddenly significantly in a much worse position than the people around you. Like, I just want to clear my quests and enjoy my time with the game and get cool guns. I don't want to have to deal with knowing that maybe like Shroud or Dr. Disrespect is.
Don't worry, you won't match with them because you're not that aggressive, and also your skill level isn't up to theirs. You're not gonna have to deal with them.
Sitting on a cliffside ready to snipe me so they can put me into some montage on YouTube Shorts.
No! Oh.
And I can confidently say that the sort of player I am is likely what overwhelmingly makes up the player base of a game like Ark Raiders to begin with. I would play more squads if it was PvE and there were a greater, threat of maybe Ark enemies, but no, I don't want to play squads if it means that some coordinated team of like 3 guys who are either streaming or playing 24/7 are the ones hunting me.
Then don't play squads. Play solo. What I do. Play solo. It's a great time. A great time.
Just want to play the game that I bought and have fun with it. If that somehow makes me wrong, then, well, I guess it is what it is. But I want to enjoy the game I bought the same as everyone else.
I don't want to be shooting robots!
You bought a game. Here's the thing. Guy's a dumbass. He is. Here's the thing. You bought a game that has PvP and PvE elements, and you're expecting to not have the PvP elements. That is the dumbest fucking take in the world. It is. I played solo and I don't try to kill people, but guess what? Every time I come across someone, I'm expecting them to fucking shoot me until they prove otherwise. That's the fun of the game. That's the whole fucking point. The whole point is you at any given moment you can have a raider turn on you. That's the whole point of the game. Even if you don't want that. It's out of your control. That adds another layer of danger to the game that makes it good. I'm by Call of Duty. I better not see guns in it. It's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much exactly it. Yes.
Bots!
One streamer named Lucci chimed in on Ark Raiders and how other players want the game to be this battle royale experience over what it is, and he said this: I think a lot of gamers would be happier if they could just admit they don't like a game. Ark Raiders is never going to be for everyone, and it's not
True.
meant to be. I see so many people asking for massive gameplay changes, and it's been out for 2 days. The game is amazing as is.
Yeah. Yes. Of course, yeah. I mean, people are wanting massive gameplay changes, and by people, I mean streamers, because they have a particular viewership, and that viewership likes a particular type of game, and because they are actually enjoying this game, their viewers, maybe their viewership dropped because they're not playing, let's say, a battle royale. But
want the game to be something that it isn't. Here's what he said: Ark Raiders isn't an Apex Legends replacement.
True.
It's not just PvP either. The
Yes.
AI are meant to be tough. That's the
Yes.
story. Why do gamers always try to force every new title into the mold of their favorite game?
because their favorite game is dying, and they want the game to also be just like their favorite game.
And just
Yep.
play the one you wanted Ark to be instead.
You know how many
Exactly this.
times I've played a fighting game, a 2D fighting game, and I'm like, bro, I wish this was like Dragon Ball Fighters. All the time. When I was playing Guilty Gear, for example, Guilty Gear Strive. Now I played Guilty Gear Xrd and everything like that, but I just came fresh off of Dragon Ball Fighters, and I was playing Guilty Gear Strive, and I was like, I wish this was like Dragon Ball Fighters. Or I played a Grand Blue Versus, right? And I was like, I wish this was like Dragon Ball Fighters. All the time. It happens. Just part of it.
There's no need to turn Arc Raiders into Warzone or Fortnite because if you want a game like Warzone, you can just play Warzone. The truth is that what makes games unique is when they carve out their own unique identity. You don't play The Legend of Zelda because you're expecting Super Mario. You play it because you want Zelda, the type of game where it is uniquely what it is in the first place, the same way you would with any other game. I said this before, but it bears repeating. The games that are doing the best this year and even previously are all games that specialize in a few things. Instead of trying to cast as wide a net as possible as, say, like some Ubisoft game or something. Arc Raiders is good because it's not Fortnite, Apex, or Warzone. It's good because it's Arc Raiders. And the further that
it's good because it's an extraction shooter, which extraction shooters have already been getting bigger and bigger. Extraction shooters are the next thing, right? So you had battle royales, and before battle royales, you had other fucking game type, and then now you have extraction shooter. It's an extraction shooter that is available to everyone. That's why it's huge. It's the same reason why Fortnite became so fucking massive. Because when Fortnite came out, a lot of players did not have access to PUBG because it was PC only. Fortnite came out, and everyone had access to Fortnite. So guess what happened? It got massive because everybody wanted to experience the battle royale, but they weren't able to, and now they could. And it got massive. It got huge. And in my opinion, it died once everybody figured out how to like build super crazily. It died immediately. I stopped playing it after that.
Embark Studios moves from
I stopped playing it.
core identity, the worse that it will become. Remember that Embark also made the Finals. That was a PvP-centric game that tried to cater to the exact type of streamers and players who were also unsurprised.
Yeah, but but here's the thing about that game though. It's boring as shit. It got really boring. It did. It got super boring.
Now calling for Arc Raiders to be another game just like the Finals, even though the Finals already exist. Just go play that instead. As Game Rant explains here back in 2024, the Finals, that's Embark Studios' previous game, lost the majority of...
It's because there wasn't enough content. It was boring. You had like 2 different game modes, and those game modes kind of sucked. That's why it died.
Of its players very quickly after release. They further state here that
there wasn't enough content.
Roughly 80% of its player base in just a month and a half on Steam alone. The game is still going as of this video being live, but the most centric PvP games, the same truths just continue to repeat themselves. That almost every AAA PvP focused game, whether it's free to play or not, they always lose the majority of their players. Even Call of Duty tends to lose their players quickly too, and why is that? I think the reason why the Finals may not be thriving the way Embark hoped is simple. There is too much competition in that space. There's too many.
No, that isn't it. It's because there wasn't enough content coming out for the game. That's why it died. You have to on a live service type game, you have to constantly be pumping out content. You have to, or it's going to die. People are going to get bored of it. And guess what? People got bored of it because there wasn't enough content out.
Games to do similar things to it that are also vying for the same player numbers and time. Arc Raiders proved that they took a genre noticeably known for being hardcore and difficult, that being extraction shooters, and then made it easier. And hey, it's working. And like I said, if they listen to the streamers and such, Arc will have an identity crisis. It would be better to focus all in on the PvE elements of the game to at least ensure that long after...
No, it's not, because even casual players like going into a match and not knowing if they're going to get shot or not. That's the whole point of the game.
After their release and the streamers leave, which let's be real, might be soon anyway since Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is around the corner, the players that will stay around are those who will engage with Arc Raiders because of its unique systems, which are unanimously almost all PvE related anyways. But I mean, it's not just the streamers' faults, because even Nick Merckx has commented on how his own viewer base wants him to play more PvP focused games anyways over something like Arc Raiders.
Of course.
Like, here's what he had to say about it. Please watch.
I think this game will keep growing, personally.
I was talking to Peanut. He said it was like over 1 million.
It's got to be over 1 million, yeah.
Of course.
With PlayStation,
Xbox,
what's up? And everything.
Yep.
You don't have to at me. I see it.
Herd of people in our chats and in our
you don't have to at me. I see them all.
To play, the M4A1, right? Whatever, VR, COD. Those guys just can't get outside their bubble, man, and play other shit. It's crazy too because they're gonna miss like how great this game is.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And
That
I agree
sucks.
with Nick Merckx. I think people are too pigeonholed by what they like to try something out of their comfort
No, the streamers are pigeonholed because of their viewership.
zone. Not every game needs to be Call of Duty, and even when a game is like Call of Duty, take the most recent Medal of Honor game, which I say recent, but it's been like well over 10 years since that game came out, but that's really the point, is that players
Alright, I
clown
played
on
this
Medal
game.
of Honor because they said that it was too much like Call of Duty. So even when developers
It was a lot like Call of Duty. I played it for the campaign because it was freaking awesome. You can blow people's heads off in that game. It was awesome. It was fucking sweet. But I didn't play the multiplayer in that game. I didn't care for
give
it.
you games like the games that you like, people still don't like those games because they're not exactly the games that they already played. But I think the only reason why people would want, say, Arc Raiders to be Call of Duty or Fortnite is simple, so they can apply their skills from those games in an almost one-to-one through line to be better at these newer games immediately. But that's why it sucks, because these games don't need to be like the other ones. If all you play are games where you shoot guns or dribble balls, maybe try to expand your horizons a bit. Even some streamers like Shroud is seen here thinks that Arc Raiders should win Game of the Year over anything else. I don't know if I agree on that one. At best, maybe Arc Raiders could win Best Multiplayer, maybe, but Best Game, that would be crazy if it did, but I doubt it. I think at its core, though, this is the same discourse that every popular game of these particular styles go through. Everyone always complains that shooter games are all the same, so different games get made in the genre, and then people complain that the new games are too different from
Well,
the
of
older
course.
games.
Of course, you're gonna have this, dude. People, you can never make everybody happy. There's no point. Just do what you want to do and fuck everybody else. That's what you should do. That's what you should do. That's what you should always do. Just make games that you find enjoyable, and if people don't like it, oh well, sucks to be you. Sorry about it.
Want to be shooting robots?
Also, he keeps bringing this up. Obviously, Doc is in character, and also on top of that, he probably died to a bot. So he in character, he's fucking bitching about the bot, of course.
And it ends up being a losing battle no matter how you look at it. The best you can do is cater to the people who actually play your game and then entice new players to come in, but you can't do that if all you're doing is listening to streamers and on what they want only. The reality
Honestly, I think a lot more games should stop listening to streamers and what the streamers want. They should. There's so many times that streamers want something and then they give them that thing and then they leave the game because they're not getting the viewership regardless. Here's the thing. Streamers are fucking stupid. They don't know what they fucking want. Streamers are just gamers. They just have a viewership. They don't know what they fucking want. Gamers don't know what they want. People don't know what they want until you give it to them. Here's the thing, right? We can take a look at the beginning of battle royales. Nobody knew that they wanted a battle royale. Nobody knew that. Nobody had any idea until PUBG came around. H1Z1 was a thing, but it wasn't that popular. Okay, then PUBG came around, then more people started playing it, right? And then Fortnite came around, and even more people started playing it, and then people realized, oh yeah, we actually like the battle royale genre. And then after that, then games started just adding battle royales all the time, and people got sick and tired of them. The genre became fucking stupid. Nobody likes it anymore. Very few people do.
is that streamers only want one thing. Whatever game is currently hot that will get them the most views and interactions, let's just say how it is. The actual quality of the game doesn't matter as long as what they're playing has people's eyes on it. I'm not going to pretend like I somehow don't also care about user interactions. I know I do. It's part of my job. But let's be real. If you listen to streamers on how to make your game better, full knowing that they will move on to the next big game the moment that it drops, what's the point? Maybe you disagree with me in this video, and if you do, let me know. But personally, I don't think Arc Raiders needs more PvP elements. If anything, it needs to just go in the opposite direction. I would love actual missions.
Well, okay, yes, actually, actual missions in the end game would be really fucking dope. But it doesn't need to really go in the opposite direction. The whole point, I think that the reason this game is as big as it is because of the PvP element mixed in with the PvE element. It's a balance, and they need to keep that balance. Not go one way or the other. Keep the balance.
Sort of like Strikes in Destiny and Arc Raiders that are PvE only, where you squad up and do these missions with enemies to wipe out and a big boss at the end.
Yeah, you have like dungeon raids. Yes, I agree. They should definitely have dungeon raids. Like fucking boss raids like that. for sure.
for loot to gain for everyone. I would, like I said before, be fine if Arc Raiders had Team Deathmatch or Domination game modes, but again, that would then require resources taken away from the core gameplay loop to make way for new content that may or may not even resonate. So then I'll ask you then, what do you think this game needs above anything else? Should Embark go full-blown PvP with this game like they did with the finals, or should they go with the opposite with PvE instead? Which side
Neither. Neither. They need to go neither. You need to keep the balance of the game. The game's popular because of the balance that it has right now, the balance between PvP and PvE. You need to just keep that balance. Period.
of the aisle, in your opinion, is more important to something like Arc Raiders' future? What would keep you playing more then? For me, it's PvE always, obviously. I stand by that. But then again, I'm not some highly competitive streamer who can twitch my wrist and snipe someone on a moment's notice. I admit that. But I am instead the kind of person who will invest in franchises and games that I like if they don't talk down to me or make my life harder by playing them. I just personally don't think we need in the future is more Battle Royale games or more
No, we don't.
Fortnite-like platform games in general.
No,
If
we
some
don't.
developer out there is chasing the idea that they will somehow dethrone Fortnite or something like Roblox even, they're kind of insane. The best you can do is focus on what you're good at and do that well. It's like any one of us, okay? You can only be good at so many things or have so many hobbies. There's only so much time in the day, obviously. Eventually, something has to give with these sorts of things. But the last thing I need with Arc Raiders is it having Battle Royale, which will mean a battle pass, while also being an extraction shooter, but also wanting to be a round-based team deathmatch game too. If you want those things, these games already exist, and that's the point. Just play those instead. Not every game needs to be the same, but if you ask
The same thing can be said to him. Okay, the same thing can be said to you. PvE games already exist. Just go play those. The whole point of this game is the balance between the two. Yo, Harlow, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. But the balance between PvP and PvE is what makes this game so enjoyable and what makes this game so popular. Not because of the PvE element alone and not because of the PvP element alone, the balance between them both. If you're wanting one side or the other, I hate to break it to you, this isn't the game for you. Not. But also, here's the other thing too, is that the developers have already put in a matchmaking in this to the point where if you're super aggressive, you're going to go with other super aggressive players. So if you're constantly shooting other players, guess what? You're going to get matched with people who shoot other players. And if you never shoot other players, guess what? You're going to be matched up with people who never shoot other players. They already have this in here. It's already been implemented. A lot of the times this guy's takes actually, like, this is Indymon TV. A lot of the times I do actually enjoy this guy's takes, but this time I feel he's very wrong about his takes on this. I do. I feel he's very wrong about it, and I think he needs to take a step back and realize that he just doesn't need to play this game. You're wanting PvE only, then maybe don't play a game that has a balance between the two. Also, you being level 15 and then saying that the grind to get your Pharaoh to level 4 is too much is also really wild. It's also very, very wild. Okay, that's crazy.